Hey guys, me again, Barry Gilman. Welcome to Level 1, Lesson 2. We're going to be doing the electric guitar anatomy. So, the guitar can be broken down into three parts: the head, the neck, and the body. Let's check it out. Okay, so we're going to start with the head of the electric guitar. Now, this electric guitar has three tuning pegs at the top of this head and three at the bottom of the tuning of the head. Okay, now the tuning pegs hold the strings tightly in place so that you can increase the tension, which increases the pitch of the note, and it can also decrease the tension, which is decreasing the pitch of the note. It's making the note lower, and when you tighten it, it makes the pitch higher. That's for tuning the guitar, which we're going to be doing at a later stage. Also on this head, there is a nut. Now the nut, this is a Graphtec nut on this particular head, and it has grooves in it which hold the strings in place. You can see the strings are guarded by the grooves in the nut to the tuning pegs. Also on this head, there is a plastic cover that is covering an opening for a truss rod. Now, a truss rod is a pole that feeds in the middle of the neck of the guitar, and you adjust it from the head of the guitar here. So that's pretty much what the head of the electric guitar consists of. Moving on to the neck of the guitar. Now, the neck has pretty much a few things to discuss on. There are frets which are inlaid on the fretboard. Now, the neck of the guitar is just, as you can see, it's a long piece of wood, and the fretboard, when we talk about a guitar fretboard, is called a fretboard because it has frets. Now, frets are poles. As you can see, they are steel poles that are very carefully positioned along the net. As you can see, the closer towards the body of the guitar we get, the frets are closer together. That's for a reason. That makes the notes in tune and correct to proper intonation. Now, as you can see here, there are inlays on the fretboard. This is to guide you. It's to instruct you or helps you to memorize the notes of the fretboard. Some inlays are different. Some inlays are dots, most commonly dots. But that doesn't matter. You know, with this specific guitar, you can see that they are crosses. These are actually called goth crosses. Now, some guitars have an inlay on the first fret, whereas this guitar, the inlay, and most commonly inlays normally start from the 3rd fret. You also get one on the 5th fret, the 7th fret, the 9th fret, the 12th fret, 15th, 17th, 19th, 21, and on this specific guitar there's 24. Inlays are also on the side of the guitar. You can see here. Now this is for a guitar player's perspective. You know, obviously the ones on the fretboard are also for a guitar player's perspective, but sometimes, especially in a live situation when you're playing on a dark stage, you don't always get to see the frets on your fretboard. So the inlays on the side of the fretboard really help to guide you as to which notes you're playing. Alright, so similarly, the first side inlay is also on the 3rd fret. Thereafter 5th, 7th, 9th, 12th, and the same as all the inlays on the fretboard. I want you to pay close attention to the 12th fret. You can see there are 2 dots on the 12th fret. Now, there's also 2 dots on the 24th fret on this specific guitar. Why? You need to ask yourself why. This is really, really important. Now, in another lesson, I'm going to be teaching you how to memorize the notes on the fretboard. Okay, but I'm just going to go through this really quickly now, just to give you a basic understanding of why there are 2 dots on the 12th fret and while the inlay on the 12th fret is slightly different to all the other inlays. On this specific guitar, you can see the cross is longer, whereas if there were dots, there would be 2 dots on the 12th fret and the 24th fret. Okay, now the reason why it's different on the 12th fret, why there are 2 dots or a longer inlay, or the inlay is different, whatever patterns there may be, is because the notes on the 12th fret and the 24th fret are the exact, or not the exact same notes, but they're called the same as the open strings. Now the open strings are E, A, D, G, B, and E. Now if you had to play the notes on the 12th fret or the 24th fret, they will be different in pitch, however they are the same notes. Alright, so the notes on the 12th fret will also be E, A, D, G, B, and E. And on the 24th fret, the same, E, A, D, G, B, and E. Like I said, at a later stage, we're going to go into that in much more detail. So there we go. That is the neck of the electric guitar. Okay, so let's move on to the body of the guitar. Now this is called a string through body guitar. Why? Because the strings go into the back of the guitar and they come through the body, over the bridge, towards the nut, into the tuning pegs on the head of the guitar. Now, this is the bridge. This is called a tuner-matic bridge. There are many different types of bridges. Check out the gear vault for that. Now, this bridge, you can see here, there are screws on either side of the bridge. Why? Because when you tighten or loosen these screws, it's going to lower the strings or heighten the strings against the fretboard. That means when the bridge gets closer towards the fretboard or closer towards the body, the strings are going to drop. Your action of the guitar is going to drop. That means you're going to get a low action. When you increase the height of the bridge, the strings are therefore going to raise up off the fretboard. That means you're going to have a higher action. There are benefits to both. It takes a little experience and research to see what you prefer as a guitar player. Now let's move on to the rest of the hardware on the body of this guitar. Here we have pickups. These are active pickups. You do get passive pickups. I'm not going to go into detail. Check out these pickups. They are active pickups. This pickup that is closer to the neck of the guitar is called the neck pickup. This pickup over here, which is closer to the bridge of the guitar, is called the bridge pickup. Okay, now what's the point of having different pickups? Okay, now I'm just going to give you a little example here. If you play the strings close to the bridge, it's a very treble sound. When you play it over here, close to the neck, it's a deeper sound. There's more bass frequency. Just like you get a radio where if you can increase the bass or you can increase the treble on your stereo system or car radio. This is pretty much what's happening on your guitar. The neck pickup is picking up the bassier frequencies by the neck, and the bridge pickup is picking up the treble frequencies. Okay, now the pickups are magnets, so to say. They suck or attract or pull the frequency that the string is resonating, is vibrating, and they suck the frequency, they pull the frequency, just like a magnet pulls steel towards it. These pickups pull sound frequency into the wiring that is in the guitar, out of the cable that is plugged into the guitar, into an amplifier, and the amplifier amplifies the volume. And also you can get more adjustments on your amplifier on the tone to get a better tone or the tone that you like. Okay, let's move on to how do we control these pickups. We control it with a pickup switch. If you select the pickup switch on this specific guitar up, I'm selecting the neck pickup, which means you're going to be selecting a bassier type of sound, a deeper bassier type of sound. When I flip the switch one down, it's selecting both of them on this specific guitar. Some guitars have different options. Some guitars have 3 pickups, Therefore, there'll be more options on your pickup switch. Now, if I flip the switch down all the way, I'm going to be selecting the bridge pickup. That's going to give you a more treble sound. Let's move on to the volume and tone controls, or volume dial, tone dial, or volume knob, tone knob. Okay, with the volume, it's as it is, as it logically sounds. It's going to increase the volume or decrease the volume. Just like your radio, you can turn the volume soft or you can turn it loud. That's the same thing. Your guitar's hardware is pretty much like the settings on a radio. If we go to the tone, it's just as it says, treble or bass. Okay, we can increase the treble if it's all the way up, or the bass. Now this happens on each pickup, so I can increase the treble or bass on the bridge or the neck pickup or both with these volume and tone dials. Let's go on to the jack of the guitar. Now this is where your guitar jack, your cable, plugs into. The point of it is for the pickups. It's all about the pickups, because the frequency is getting sucked into the pickups. It's going to go out your cable, and your cable goes into an amplifier where you can have even more options to control the bass and the treble and the volume, and you can even get some effects and all that. Okay, so there we go. That's pretty much the body of the electric guitar. All right, so we've done the electric guitar anatomy. I hope you guys have gotten a lot of benefit out of that. Now, if you want to get some more detail on the hardware and the different types of woods and all the details of the electric guitar, please check out the Gear Vault. All the information is there. It's great. If you want to also check out different types of electric guitars, just so you can see, well, you know, what kind of bridges do these guitars have, what kind of specifications on each guitar, check out the guitar library. There's a whole lovely selection of guitars that you can check out. Okay, so now let's move on to lesson 3, where I'm going to show you how to string a guitar.